Hello everybody, my name is Patricia Wald-Hopkins and I am here tonight to offer an activation for the emissaries of sacred earth, and this is a 5D sacred feminine leadership codes activation, and I want to say that I feel really honored to be here and just amazed at all the beautiful energy in this temple that Abigail holds, and all of the amazing people that have been presenting today, and just feeling really honored to be here with you all. Yeah, that last one, there was a lot of energy moving through that, and so I'm just gonna allow myself to settle in here. And I'm coming to you from northern New Mexico, in a little place called White Rock, and I would like to take a moment to honor the ancestors, the original ancestors of the land upon which I am, hello Abigail, upon which I live and have lived for probably, well, all my life I've lived in New Mexico, but in this particular area for about the last 25 years or so. And I just want to honor the ancestors, the original ancestors of the land, and my ancestors as well, but the Jicarilla Apache and the Pueblo Indians. And so we're going to go ahead and drop into the Akashic field. And hello. I had, have set an intention for what would come through for this activation, but as we all know, it's best to follow what Spirit wants you to be led. And while my intention is to activate the gene keys of 1960 and 61, working with the energies of the Ring of Gaia. If you're not familiar with the gene keys, you can look them up at genekeys.com. You even get a free profile there for your own specific gene keys. But I'm an ambassador of the gene keys and a guide, and this work has become really integral to my leadership and my style of leadership. And I have really strong ties with the earth, even through my own particular what they call hologenetic profile of my design. And I didn't know that when I was younger, and I just had a calling to be involved with, well, the animals first, and then when I went off into my studies and whatnot, I just really wanted to help the earth, and I didn't know what that meant, and the way that I do it now in my work here is much different than the way that I learned, being an environmental health practitioner. But it all ties together, and I just have a deep calling to activate those people that are ready to be emissaries of sacred earth. And what that means as an emissary is that you're here to be a steward of the resources and to honor the land and all of the creatures upon it, honor Gaia, and to honor all the original ancestors and your ancestors, and to really tune in to everything, and as you go forward and make decisions in your life. We're going to talk also a little bit about the three main principles of the sacred feminine leadership. One is the root, to receive, and then to lead. And so those are the intentions, and what actually comes through once I open the Akashic field for this container for whoever is willing to receive. All you have to do is say yes. whether you watch it now or you watch the replay. And so I'm going to go ahead and open the Akashic Records. And I just want to acknowledge my many, mentors for the Gene Keys Richard read. And also my Akashic teacher, Tara Preston. And many other people. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and call down the temples of divine love and light to surround us here, creating a sacred container of pure light where only the highest frequencies and most benevolent beings are present. Asking that any negativity, any lower frequencies now be flushed out and away, if there were any. We're going to allow the golden door 50 feet above our heads to open and shower down this golden sparkly light, entering in through our crown chakra, the top of our head, and filling up our entire being. And allowing that energy to drop down through our core, down into the center of Mother Earth, where we can connect to a beautiful crystal. It might be rose quartz, it might be lapis, it might be carnelian. I've seen a lot of different ones appear, so whatever resonates most with you. Just being fully grounded and held by Mother Earth, allowing her energy to come back up through all the layers, up to the bottoms of your feet, and just nourishing your whole body. And bring your attention to the center of your heart chakra. Visualize a beautiful rosebud. It might be pink, and it might be a deeper red or white or yellow or multicolored. Just allow that beautiful bud to take residence in your heart chakra and begin to gently furl open. And from the center of that bud opening, you'll see the beautiful golden grid of the flower of life emerge. Emerge from your heart chakra center and connect to the Akashic field that lives within and without you through all dimensions and time. Allowing the beautiful energy and the nourishing richness of this field to envelope you and hold you and nourish you deeply cellularly. And allowing yourself to be open to receive the wisdom and the light from the Akashic field. Continuing to feel it come down and around you, holding you, grounding you, nourishing you. Thank you. And so it is. And so now I'm going to ask for the guardians and the guides and the teachers and the masters and the loved ones and the angels, the archangels, and all the other benevolent beings of whoever is watching this and whoever will watch the replay and is ready to receive, to be present with us in this sacred container. And I request that they open those records, and all you have to do is to say yes to yourself to receive this opening for yourself. So now, the records are now open. Beautiful. So here we are in the Akashic field. I can feel some light language emerging. We're going to ask if Mama Gaia has a message for us tonight. Around the ring of Gaia, in Gene Key 19, the key of sacrifice, the key of moving from codependency to independence, to interdependence, through the gift of sensitivity, and finally rising to the siddhi of sacrifice will emerge with all, the future human being. Ishtalaya nuhunu kala, ikari nuhu tale minihira ku, kurukulare nihaya kunai namanai tu stulai, kireti nai lumbaya tu, yoy no male kirai tu, malati nai el ninaya, shire lai umbale ki, mirahala tura, loro hogale minita, ira ai anorola, shira la karamande sho, sholai nutaya mahi, tirai ku, kurala, tira noi, ishtala, kirai. She's just sharing the codes of relations, the healthy relations between all of humans, the human race, between the humans and all of the creatures on the earth, all the animals and the plants, and the stone people and the crystals. And the elemental realms. Deep down into the magic of the earth. And the roots, the mycorrhizae, everything that connects and speaks through the earth. The vibrations that come up and speak to us each day, teaching us how to walk this path of the emissary of the sacred earth, where there's respect and utmost respect for all life, the seen and the unseen, all the vibrations, even those that are vibrating at a lower frequency, that we may be that higher vibration that brings them closer and closer to the gift frequency. The sensitivity of knowing, being able to shapeshift into and understand every single being and where they come from. And from that place of deep understanding, we can learn to live in unity. Ishtala krumai tu lai krikashtarinita. Kulai ni maya nu bai tu. Shitalai mungale. Kikare tu mai. Tiro lai ni mai u. Shirani kai kulai numa. Tu mai tu. She's holding us all in a great embrace. The future human being, all they need is light to nourish their cells. They drink in the light. And to know that now just the light, bringing it in, purifies, cleanses everything in your body. And even before it comes into your body, the light can purify the food and the resources that cross your lips, that you put on your skin. And begin to radiate out into the world, and calling in only those resources that come from sustainability, those resources that come from respect and honoring all people, all creatures, all the land. Moving on to Gene Key 60, justice, the cracking of the vessel. Moving from the challenge and the shadow of limitations. Embracing the tendency for the human race to live in a state of limitation. The closed mind loops, the programs that we have been given to follow since we were very small children and even in the womb. Mama Gaia wishes to release us from those limitations of the egoic mind, of those structures that we have created that no longer serve where we are going as the future human. Tirai umbalati, irai undala ki nai nurupa, shirai kru kala ni batirai rupala ni nai stu, kirai nupala, kru kwashtala manintara kumlave, tiralu ubarati shu, sharamanaya kura balata, just hushtala mani nuru mari dirada uramana. Just letting it rattle your body. You can feel it. It's just a shake through your shell. Shaking through your cells. The cracking of the vessel comes from within. It's that vibration, and it just shakes loose any remnants that are ready to go. Ready to go now. Opening you up to the field, the gift of realism, practical magic. Where the heart merges with the mind. The heart leads the mind. The heart creates the structures, the design of the structures, and the mind can help to create them here in the 3D on Earth. That's what this key is about. It's about leading with the mind only after the heart has set the design. Only after the heart has spoken. The heart of Mother Earth, the heart of humanity, the true heart of humanity, the unconditionally loving heart of Mother Mary. Nishtala minuhuru kai ku kala mine ai nuhuta ko bale ishale ninu bale ti ai kunai kirai kura shile na humbai tu kumbala ki ti no halamina etula. And it is only through this path that we can touch into and tap into what real justice is, where all duality disappears, where we are all one. And all that we do is in service of the one and of the whole earth, the whole universe, the multiverse, all the dimensions, all connected. Kirai kumare kira shula kanimini nai tu benedetto laiba. Guru kumaya tu bene nai tu. It's only when we live in that field, only when we allow our vessel to crack open, to receive new codes, new light codes, and then to emanate them back out, can we be the future human being. Ti maya nu tu laish tu ka maya tai kudara tira shtara. Moving on, just moving beyond. Gene Key 61. Someone's very special to me. And I have experienced the shadow tremendously in my lifetime. And the shadow is called psychosis. But the funny thing is, the psychosis is not the psychosis that our mental health specialists have called being psychotic. The psychosis is the mainstream. It's the others who are not yet ready to see the truth. And they live shrouded by the Maya, and the veil has not been lifted for them. And I know I lived a good part of my life in that state. And it took major emotional trauma in my life to part those veils, for me to see the truth, to begin to excavate my soul, to liberate my soul from that psychosis. Hello, Dina. Yeah, 61. If you have that in your profile, it is a potent one. If you have it in a prominent position, you will meet that challenge. I have it as my core wounding. It's what I came in with when I was born, when I was conceived. It's what I came to turn into my vocation. So that's why I sit here tonight. I mean, the major reasons that I am here. And if you have this anywhere in your profile, or even if you just feel called to it, just know that it is a beautiful path. It's a path of creativity, because once you sit, you embrace that shadow. You're not afraid of it. You tune into this vast field of creativity, of inspiration, which is the gift. And it comes from the deepest parts of yourself. And it accesses the deep magic of the earth. Thank you, Karen. And it is through this field of creativity that we create the new world. We create the new world through inspiration, through the art, through artwork, through music, through all those beautiful soul essence creations. And even through, some of the other modalities of the human race, which is science. It's even through science, when it comes from a place of justice and sacrifice, the things that we can build to help humanity. That's what this Gene Key is about. Shumaya nihatu turo mahayai ku kai lunai ni mahurai shirai tu. Korai monala ni hai ki me shalota tino mai ku kulai mutai shi shu me ai tu ledenumbai kai tu ma shikarai numa shulu. Just let it flow through your heart, the creativity that brings you delight, that speaks from the depths of your soul. For when you do that, that is when you reach the essence, the city of sanctity. The infinite self, where you are also the same as everyone else and everything else. And you become one with God, for you are an essence of the God, or source, or spirit, the Holy Spirit, whatever it is that you call it. You just merge with that field and you lose all sense of identity with any of your human limitations. And so if you walk this path of the emissary of sacred earth, you are also called to create sanctuary for those in need, for those who need to remember who they are, to remember their godlike nature, to remember they walk as the light, and to show the others who are still wanting, desiring to come and walk a different path on this earth during this time. For the children, for the innocent, for the traumatized. Kilai mu tai kinai no halati. Shilai mu no yulai kai tu telai no hai. Me kai lenu bai tinai tu stalai ku baratinai. Kolai kai stai mai du. For all of those who suffer from depression, for all those that suffer from anxiety, because they've forgotten who they truly are and why they're here and the value of their life. This is for you. And for those who have been more fortunate, if there are some that have been, that have managed to land on this earth in a higher frequency, which I did not, then it is to your grace that you can shower that wisdom upon all of us. And knowing that as you walk the path, you begin to embody more and more of that grace that you can also share. And I have gotten all lost in my time. I don't know what time I'm at, but let me see if there's any one last message for her on these gene keys and the ring of Gaia, which is the foundation of the emissaries of sacred earth, which is a path that I am on and that I facilitate as a priestess of Gaia Sophia. Okay, I can move on. The next part of this share is about the path and how to access it. And it's about rooting into your authenticity and thank you. And for tuning into your own beautiful vibration. And that's what the root blueprint is. And it's so important for you to know your own vibration. And so the gene keys can help you do that. There's so many systems and they're all related, but the gene keys is one that is very, very heart-based, and it's not so much in the mind. It's just a pure heart transmission, and you can get your halogenetic profile, and you can begin to tune into the resonance of it. And you don't even need that to tune into it. It's just a tool, right? They're all just tools, but the rooting is about going deeper in yourself and remembering what brings you joy, remembering back to when you were a child, and remembering the parts of, even the parts that brought you difficulty as a child, and beginning to transmute those. And that's a huge part of the rooting in, is cleaning out your root, cleaning out the roots of your existence, using whatever tools you have and whatever support that you have around you. And that's part of the work that I do with people. But it's the root, it's how you connect. Your soul essence comes down and embodies in you. And hello, Richard. And it connects down into your Earth Star chakra, down into the core of Mother Earth. So it's just bringing your essence down into safety, so that you can root in, so that you can walk your soul path on this earth at this time. And that can take some time. And it's not necessarily a solitary path. And I'm just going to tune in for an activation from the sacred feminine. Homati lo mai kai te, yo mai tu lai ku te nai, ye tu lai tu mai chika u da ni ai di lo a te ka ku pa di lo mai I tu ka mi tu ma lu ku da di ka a u pa di ku pa di ku shik it's just activating that grid, the grid that you walk upon on this earth. We all have certain places that we have been called. Many of us have traveled so far and wide doing that grid work. So this rooting in now is just expanding where you reach with your soul essence. So just be open to receive that when you're ready. Just feeling those deep tones of Mother Earth connecting you to that beautiful light grid that we all are here to maintain and tune and build continuously. And there's much more to that root blueprint individually, but that's just a little activation of it, and I'm going to move on to the receiving. And the receive blueprint is about learning to take care of your human body and learning to take guidance from the earth and from your guides if you don't already. But it's mainly, in this particular case, it's about listening to the earth and receiving guidance on how to care for your body and your larger body, your home, your community. It's really learning to listen with all of your senses. And so it requires you to get really quiet, and you can't get really quiet if you're not rooted. So that's why it comes second. So some of us, including myself, may have spent a great deal of time trying to listen and listen and listen, but I wasn't fully embodied. I wasn't rooted in. And it took me a long, long time to do that, because I'm very much a mystic out there, and my human body terrified me most of my life, and I struggled with it, especially when I was younger. And so yes, now that you're rooted in, you can begin to receive and listen in the quiet spaces. Listen for the wisdom that comes to you in the whispers of the trees. That future human, right? The sensitive one. The one that can receive nourishment by just sitting under the sun, sitting under the moon, listening to the water run in the river, in the ocean waves. Listening, 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 listening to the whispers of the fairies, the tickles of the angels. I'm feeling the warmth and the camaraderie, that's a tricky word for me right now, of all the animals, the rabbits that run by in the morning. What is that? What are they telling you? And some of you, probably a lot of you already look for the signs. Just listening when you tune in the darkness. You know, listening to what each part of your body is saying to you. Being aware of where your organs actually are in your body. I mean, that's part of being human. And so we came here to embody. Sometimes it's not fun. Just learning to take care of your body, learning to connect with the foods and the water and the materials and the resources that nourish you. Learning to receive nourishment. I spent most of my life not receiving nourishment. And it was hard. There was no softness. There was no mother holding you. It was like, it has to be hard. It has to feel hard. It can't be soft and nourishing. So it's a returning back to the mother's lap and just receiving that nourishment. And let's see what she has to say. I'm not a singer, so. It's just like a lullaby from the earth, and it's just wrapping you and activating your body to open up to receive the whispers, the softness of the mama singing you a lullaby, and the daddy, and the divine beings all around you, holding you, embracing you. Shungalaya no mai tu. Tivo horale menai karashtulo mbai. The humming that we do, right? That tunes you in too, to receiving. Just whatever sound brings your body pleasure. Oh, and now the final one. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm sorry if this has gone on longer than I intended. I don't get to decide. My family's probably wondering where I am. Okay, so the last blueprint we'll activate in general tonight as a group is the lead blueprint. So you have to be rooted. You have to be willing to receive, to take care of yourself, take care of everything around you. And then you can step into your authentic leadership. The true voice of who you are can come forward because it's fully embodied and it's nourished and it's powerful and it is strong and it can be heard and felt. Yeah, that one I can feel is loud. It's like that loud when you hear the volcano erupt, when you hear the lightning strike, when you hear that thunder, it's not actually the lightning, right? But it's the thunder that you hear, that clap, right? That is the power of leadership. When it comes through you, it comes through with strength, and it can come through very, very, very intensely at times. And so there's that half of leadership, which is you gotta wake the people up. And then there's the softness, right? So it's the dance of the softness and the clap, the wake up, and then the softness. So it's not that the clap, and this is just what I'm being shown, that loud noise is to startle you, but it's not to scare you or threaten you, and it's not in any way punishment. And there was an old belief that needs to just be released, that it's just natural. Sometimes something will come into your life and it will wake you up. And it's not about punishment. It's about waking you up and then allowing you to step into a new life. Opening that door and say, hey, do you want to walk through? You know, and not all of us want to. And sometimes we go back. And then we come back again because we're like, hey, it's not any better back there. I really don't want to go back there. Right? So there's many doors that you can go through, not just about leadership, but leadership is not actually just about stepping into some leadership role in some company or in some business or in some group. It's about you leading your life authentically with your true voice, leading the way that's fueled by your heart, that is inspired by the divine, and that is guided by the earth that you live on. Hello, everybody that's joined. Here she goes. Ugai kumbalai nuratalo mairustala kumbelai ture kanurai numaiti shile lolande karusta mai urilai mutai kuachi lumati olai bude. Shunayanu male kure nayum bali rure layu. Uya. Uya. She's just clearing out your throat chakra. Inganu. Clearing out that connection to the heart. Shinai, clearing it out, that whole channel. It's not linear, bringing it down, down, down. This is going to just happen continuously. Down, down through your lower chakras, rooting into the earth. Let your leadership come from that place, always. Finding your leadership voice can also come spontaneously as a miracle. Where your whole body just becomes complete light. We offer everything into the violet flame that is ready to be released now from our records that limits our ability to walk upon this earth as emissaries of sacred earth with our 5D sacred feminine leadership codes. There's always a little humor. All of it is placed into the violet flame, clearing from our records through all time and space and all dimensions. We now transmute everything to divine love and light and return it fully back to source. And so it is. And so it is done. I'm going to go ahead and close the records. I'd like to thank all of our angels, guardians, guides, masters, teachers, loved ones, and all benevolent beings that have been with us here tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Knowing that what we began to work on will continue and come to completion over the days to come. We now call back into existence the door between the worlds. The records are now closed. Thank you, and so it is. Thank you for being here and watching and receiving whenever it's the replay. And I do have to offer, one-on-one mentorships for emissaries of Sacred Earth. And so if you're interested in learning more about that, just message me and I can also pop in some information later. But really, thank you so much for spending some of this evening with me, or whatever time of day it is for you. It's such an honor to be here with Abigail. Thank you. Bye-bye.